Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new series of speed builds I am starting. I'm going to be doing a tiny or small home, at least, for a couple select scenarios from The Sims 4. So here's just scrolling through to give you guys an idea of just how many there are. Now some of them would be more difficult because you already start with a household, so they come with a home and they have a very intricate backstory, but I tried to pick ones that would be reasonable to make tiny homes for. So for example, I have a little list here of making money, the Many Toddlers, the Extraterrestrial Researcher, the Unlucky Chef, the Alien Stole My Parents, the Proud Parent, and the Plant-A-Sim. Those ones I saw really stood out to me. Here I am just kind of looking through. Oh, there's so many. But I tried to pick some that made for a fun home and a storyline and to get you a good start on the scenario if you are wanting to play. So the first one we picked today is this one, the Making Money one, and I selected a new sim for this. So here's what I did. Now this is pre-recorded. This is a voiceover because it's too hard to do this in person. It takes too much time. So what I did was I just randomized a first name. So his name ends up being Dalton Wilhelm. Pronouns he, him, of course, as per my usual. But I always do a female, so I decided, you know what, this randomly generated male sim is totally fine. And I picked the fabulously wealthy aspiration for him, and then I was going through some of the traits, try to pick something that made sense. And I know for making money, essentially you would, at least my go-tos are like painting or selling art, gardening and selling produce, or, you know, making things. So what I did was I gave him the art lover, and then I believe I gave him the self-absorbed, because I think, or self-assured, should I say, or no, self-absorbed? Yes, I gave him self-absorbed because I think that he wants to have a lot of money and he just is so full of himself. I almost thought to give him snob, but I didn't want him to be unfriendly and not be able to sell things because he's unfriendly. So then I gave him the overachiever trait to hopefully reduce on any stress. And then here we jump into my other playtester sim to make the home, because you have to move the sim directly into the home after you make them for the scenario. So what you would do is you'd place this house down first, then go into scenario under the same save file and pop him down in here. We started with a very simple little shape here, just a little box with a tiny little bump out. I'm obsessed with the little window area, as you can see, because I did that in a similar home recently that I really love. Little cozy grandparents home on my channel has a similar situation, and I just gave him a simple bathroom, cheapest sink and toilet, and the university shower, and just a little mirror, some simple, you know, just the basics in the bathroom. And the good thing is, in this tiny home, he can just use the sink to wash his dishes, so that will be good. Now you do start off in this game with 0 simoleons after you pick your home or your lot, so there's that. He won't be able to make food because he won't be buying ingredients. But I still gave him a fridge and a stove just to start out, because he can still buy, or he can still grab a quick meal for the first little bit of time he's here. And then I just picked the cheapest table, and I think I went with the werewolf chairs because I just liked the way they looked, and they didn't look too shabby, but like kind of that he pulled them out from in front of somebody's house and they were trying to get rid of. And I used a lot of eco lifestyle windows and some siding. In the end, I just really like how they look, and they're very affordable. So here's our front door here. I was going to use that big one with all the windows, but I picked this guy because I never use it, and I thought it would be really cool. House exterior is like a combo of this wood palette texture and then this the brick texture, the base game brick texture. And then I do add another little bump out in the back later on for the bedroom, but for now it's just this basic shape, and I threw a basic roof on top just to get me started so I could proceed with the rest of the home planning. So I decided to use this flooring that looks like it's, you know, still kind of a subfloor. It has some nails sticking out of it, or some nail heads, should I say. And then a little bit of tile in the kitchen. I do end up changing that to a different swatch, just to brighten it up a little bit. And over here I use this very minty green tone because I thought it really added some character. And I wanted a nice comfy couch for him because he will be sitting watching TV and eating, I assume, because they never sit at the table to eat. And maybe he would like a nice comfy couch to absorb some of the skills he can learn from the TV and just unwind after a day of making money. Over here is the easel, because that is just what we do here. We just paint and we plant, so there's some planter pots. And I threw down the cheapest little laptop so that he can expand his skills, maybe find odd jobs, etc., and get him on his way to a million simoleons, which is the objective of this scenario. I also threw down a candle making station, and my thought for that was you can actually make a decent amount of money with the candles if you want to, if you have a selling table, which I did not put in this build because it was just too expensive and I ran out of money, but that could always be an option because you can upsell. Out here I have a bee box to collect wax from and a bunch of flowers. The crocus is essential, it's that purple one. Snapdragon is good. And then some fruits and vegetables, and I had my sim plant them, and I did add a sprinkler because that just helps out a lot with gardening. I'll tell you about the crocus when it comes to bees. If you make a flower arrangement or even just put a crocus plant in the ground near the bee box, I'm pretty sure it helps to keep the bees happy and friendly so that they don't attack you. And it also improves the quality of their honey when they are in a good mood. So I thought that was nice. Here's this little kitchen that came together. I just wanted to keep it pretty easy, nothing too crazy because there's not a whole lot of money, there's no sink, there's no dishwasher, but that's okay, there's a sink in the bathroom. Couldn't decide on these windows for a while, so I kind of go through the swatches, but I do go back to the originals. I know that the range hood is off center here, by the way. I do go back and fix that, but this was just me setting things up, maybe moving things around a little bit. And here is the console table I put under the TV, and I think I just decorate it pretty simply with like a little plant and a end table light here just to add a little bit more, a little bit more brightness to the space. And of course, yes, and some little sprouts. Maybe he's starting some sprouts inside. So I moved everything over, realizing, well, obviously I need a bedroom, and I had enough tiles to fit a very significantly sizable bedroom in here, so that's what I did, and added some more of those windows from Eco Lifestyle, nice and big and open. I do cover them with some curtains. Couldn't decide which ones I wanted to use. I think I ended up going with the long base game curtains here, but I do change the swatch. First I decided on orange. I just really liked that color for some reason, but I couldn't find the cheapest bed that really fit that, so I changed them to this cyan blue color. And then the walls, I wanted to pick something colorful and bright. I thought yellow was maybe too bright, so I went with more of a pale yellow, pastel yellow. And then I just went around the house and made sure all of the siding was correct. And here is the little dresser. Again, I was spending a lot of money, but I figured it would be nice to have it well outfitted with decorations. There's a little hang in there cat poster. And I think I end up putting some debug artwork in the bedroom. I'm not sure if I do that now or later. I think I do it now-ish. I put that little tiny cottage living painting in there. And later on I add those, the hand-drawn from debug sketches that come with the Parenthood board that you can add a drawing. Right? In the bathroom it's just very simple, just soap, toothbrush, and a toilet paper roll on the floor. And there's a rug from Nifty Knitting, which is actually free because it's from Debug Menu. It's very nice. You can make those obviously if you have a fabricating station, but we do not. Maybe later, depending on what he likes to do. Maybe I should have given him the maker trait. Oh well. Anyway. Hindsight is 20/20. But here we are back in the bedroom. I'm picking out a end table that fit the rest of the aesthetic, and this little flea market lamp, you can buy that at the flea market in San Myshuno, so I thought that was nice. Here's those two debug drawings I was talking about, and I just rotated them ever so slightly with tool mod so it looked like they were just kind of pasted up there, And then what do we end up doing? Oh yes, I end up putting a hand towel in the bathroom here, and then moving outside to the landscaping. Used all debug, all debug landscaping because I was running out of money and I did not want to waste it on plants. But I think it came out really, really cute. I used a good assortment of like ivies and bushes and flowering plants, and in the back I actually add a little patio area, so I use a debug wall and I lower it down into the ground. That was a lot of fun to figure out. I was feeling very inspired for this home, so it was pretty easy to just kind of go with the flow, and it was a quick build because it's a tiny home, so I could do it all in one shot and not have to worry about coming back to it later to finish anything, which is really nice. I could just kind of keep going and finish it all in one take, which does not happen. It just doesn't happen. And before I forgot, I made sure to add the outdoor bin and also the inside trash can. And the mailbox I moved over to that little path I made. Here I'm looking through some trees. I decided 2 here in the front would be very nice. I do end up adding another one in the back at that patio area much later on. And I put some dirt under the trees and the bushes and the bee box and all that fun stuff, just, you know, making it all seem like it blends in with the rest of the landscaping. I think I picked, one of these bushes, one of these long bushes, and I sized it down. At first I just sized it down with the bracket keys, but then I went back with tool mod to really minimize them just a teeny bit more, because I think it minimizes halfway when you use the bracket keys, but I wanted it just a smidge more. And here I am deciding, you know what, for this back patio area, we should probably just have a sliding door, which I could barely afford. But there it is. It left me with 65 simoleons. Whew. So I was a little nervous at that point, but I think it's okay, because what we came up with back here is super cute. It's very simple, but it gives a nice little space to sit, maybe eat, maybe think, or if he ends up getting the digital sketch pad to make art, he can sit back here and enjoy the fresh air, of which there is none of in my real life situation right now, because the fires in Canada have blown down to Pennsylvania where I am. And the outside is all yellow and smoky and it's just awful. I envy this sim. Here's a debug outdoor lamp I decided to place up on the wall outside here. And then I think I picked a debug chair. Yeah, so your sim can't actually sit in that, but I decided setting it off to the side would be fun. I also put a lump of clay sculpture on that table, because why not? I think they might actually be able to repurpose that and play with it on their own, which could build fun and make it easier for them to stay in a good mood. So that would be nice. Here's this little wall I was talking about earlier, and I size it down with tool mod, and then I sink it down into the ground later on, just a little bit, so that it kind of just barely pokes out, like it's little edging stones, basically. There it is. And then what else did I put over here? I think I picked the lavender trio of bushes from Outdoor Retreat, this tall grass from Island Living, and I think the foxglove debug flower from Cottage Living. Yes, is that it? I think there might be a black-eyed Susan in there somewhere. I'm not 100% sure, or maybe it's this one. It isn't quite that. It's more like a yellow daisy bush kind of thing. But maneuvering all the plants so that they make sense, and then I add a whole bunch of dirt to cover in some of that space and blend it all together. And I think it came out really cute. I just repeated the roof back there, and then I trimmed up some of the roof pieces, had to split them up just a little bit because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, so we had to do our funky little roof trimming. But I think that is just about it for the home after I add new roof tile up there. And I think that's about it. So here's our dude. We are moving him in, and that is how we do that. So here he is at his new home, and I think it just came out super cute. I think there's a lot of opportunity here for him to start his scenario and make the money. So yes, after he makes 1 million simoleons, that is the only requirement for this scenario, he will have completed it. And there are so many ways to get started doing that. Of course, he was hungry as soon as we got here, and I forgot that he had 0 simoleons, so I went to go cook something. And yeah, Whoops, you have insufficient funds, no duh. Ah, my gosh. But yes, so here, I had him have a quick meal, ham and cheese sandwich. And that was fun. I did play with him for a little bit in this after I stopped recording, just to make sure everything worked, everything functioned, and he could, ride his bike, which is out front, and access that. The bush wasn't in the way. He, can watch TV here, as you can see, which is great. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one, and you can download it on the gallery. I think it's under quote-unquote making money, tiny home. Here come the screenshots, and I hope that you enjoyed this one. Let me know. I'll probably put up a poll, but let me know which one you'd like to see me tackle next. I had a lot of fun with this one. I hope you enjoy it. Be sure to like and subscribe to see more later on, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.